Outland is not Draenor. Why you should listen to 1,000 Years War. Now, if you guys remember, 1,000 Years War was, as chat has reminded me, the Tyrellian and Illyria and, you know, all the light fighting against the Legion for 1,000 years. That was a whole thing going on. I never listened to it myself, but evidently Pyromancer has some stuff to say about it. Let's see what kind of clues we could draw from that, and maybe something leading into the next expansion. Who knows?
So I put this... I'm going to put this up on stream. So this is the art from 1,000 Years of War.
Lore Master Sam,
and
that's
this
right.
is Illyria and Tyrallion standing in Hellfire Peninsula.
Yeah.
I'm like 90% certain because the skybox is
definitely
the fucking
Hellfire.
Same.
Yeah.
But look at this planet right here. If you and I think we did this before. If you take the map of Draenor, fucking rotate it and superimpose it over this, it looks like this is Draenor. And it's whole. And the land masses are all there, and it's got water, and it's like a blue planet.
What?
If these are land masses, which is what they appear to be, there
saying
is also
that's
the possibility
Draenor?
that that's not what it is, and that's a misconception. There is this, however,
Most
this very large celestial body. I don't really know what this is. It looks like a moon. I don't know what this is, but you see it in the sky near Draenor. I believe in Outland as well. Like this skybox, I think is pretty almost accurate, almost true
To in-game?
Yo, that's fucked up. What if that blue fucking thing in the sky in Outland is meant to symbolize Draenor, and the art team just like didn't fucking nail it back then, or like didn't fucking give it away enough? Because what I'm suggesting is
then
like
where's
this
Outland?
reality that they're walking in is like severed from this. And you see this big fucking moon? The fact that this is broken and shattered makes me really think that like this is what broke, and like what they're standing on, it came from this.
It's pieces
I know that
of that
sounds
planet?
fucking crazy. Let me show you something though. The Emerald Dream has these like how do I put this? There's no other way to say this other than that I think that the pattern that is on this moon thing just for some reason reminds me a lot of how they depict the Emerald Dream on this map. And I don't think that the Emerald Dream necessarily is something that has only ever existed or can exist on Azeroth. It exists as a part of, tangentially, to reality, I think, the same way that the Shadowlands does. So I think that that would potentially imply that, like, Draenor can do that as well. And I think that Draenor, alternate Draenor...
Well, I wonder, does every planet have its own Emerald Dream or version of the dream? You know, is Azeroth's version of the dream different than what, say, Draenor's version of the dream would be? Maybe they all have access to it, but it comes across as a different version, because the Emerald Dream is supposed to be a perfected version of what Azeroth is supposed to be, right? His name is John Cena, yeah. So that's what I thought was... I always thought the Emerald Dream was the perfected version, or like the blueprint for Azeroth. It could potentially be the blueprint for every world, but in what we view right now, it's the blueprint for Azeroth. So would the Emerald Dream that someone from Draenor would access be different and yet the same? Just a different version of the Emerald Dream? I don't know.
Literally can go through the dream to get back to Azeroth. I think that might be canonically true, but someone has to check me on that. But basically, it makes me wonder if, like, essentially they're existing in, like, I don't know how to put this. Like, I want to say, like, a shattered illusion, but that's not right. It's like they're existing in a shard of reality that's severed from what actually
Who created
still
the Emerald Dream?
exists
Didn't the
there.
Titans?
And if that's the case, it makes me wonder if... You know, it makes me question a lot of things, dude. It just makes me wonder if time flows differently as well. Like, if you break reality to the extent that Ner'zhul did when he used the Scepter of Sargeras to do this, like, what does that do to time? Like, what is that?
Well, isn't time
the
fucked
actual
up?
effect?
That's why they were fighting for 1,000 years. Right, but they didn't age 1,000 years. It wasn't time all fucked up when they were in that land. Again, I didn't listen to the 1,000 Years War, but I thought that was part of it. Was like they had the whole army of the light, which is, you know, includes the Lightforged Draenei that we play today, and they all were there for 1,000 of our years. But for them, it wasn't that long. That's why they didn't age 1,000 years in that time. I just realized what's wrong with humans in WoW. They didn't took Draenei ships and conquer the galaxy. Well, yeah. And they probably should have tried that. Considering
So I
Azeroth's all
don't know.
fucked up now.
There's this dude. You guys, you really should listen to this. It's like an hour and a half long, but it's free. It's on the World of Warcraft channel. This is part 1. It's 1,000 Years of War, part 1. This is a short story. It's a canon audio drama about Illyria and Terralion when they.
By the way, can I just say that I wanted the human heritage armor to look more like this? You see with the logo there, this is what I wanted the human heritage armor to look more like. Now what we got is okay, but I imagined it looking more like this. This is more badass. Terralion, this is like, I guess, early on in the Thousand Years War, because now he has his like light forged armor.
This is after the Shattering, when fucking Ner'zhul destroyed the world with the Scepter of Sargeras, and this is apparently the result. So, and listen, in this fucking audio drama, it says, and this is from Legion, it actually says, it emphasizes several times how they were standing in Draenor.
I'm sure it exists, Joshua.
But that they were not truly there. That it looked like Draenor, it sounded like Draenor, but it wasn't Draenor. And I think that the way that they emphasize that in this short story, this could be misinterpretation, but I think they're doing that to emphasize that this really isn't Draenor. Like,
the hell?
What Outland is really is not Draenor.
Why?
And if that's the case, if this is a crackpot theory, if alternate Draenor was true Draenor, then that means the Legion didn't corrupt and destroy it completely. In fact, they kept it all inside of Tanan Jungle. And
yeah.
This is gonna fuck you up, chat. This is gonna fuck you up. And it means that when they fucked everything up, which the Legion heavily occupied Outlands, that means that they were basically destroying a reality that wasn't real. That was severed from actual reality.
What?
And so that they, and this is a fucked up way to look at it, but that they weren't necessarily doing actual harm. Now I can't...
Oh god, is this leading to a Sargeras is good theory? Is this leading to a Sargeras was not the bad guy theory? That in fact he was not destroying Draenor or these other planets, but he was doing so in an opposite reality of some sort? Because now he's saying the Legion weren't actually doing harm, that they were on some kind of alternate, not real Draenor. That's where they were, gaining their strength and training and all that other shit. I don't know, man. And does that mean Garrosh knew something we didn't? Because he went to the real Draenor. I mean, clearly we were there. We were there. That was a real Draenor. We spent way too much time there, but we were there. You don't build garrisons in alternate realities. That shit was a real reality that we have to still deal with to this day. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's not Draenor. It tastes like Draenor, but what sort exactly? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this theory. I think he's digging pretty deep here.
Can't prove any of that. And it's a crackpot theory, and it's probably wrong. But it's this audio drama, this art, how it all comes together is the type of thing that makes me think of these theories in the way that I do. So anyway, you should definitely fucking listen to this. They're super, super, super good. If I remember correctly, they tried to summon Anzu back to break into the Emerald Dream from Outlands. I think that is correct. Because, yeah, what you read about them in Chronicle Volume 2...
I'm sure Outlands and Shadowlands are accessible.
Yeah, that makes me wonder about the other Chronicle
I'm sure Shadowlands and the Emerald Dream are accessible from other worlds. Those do seem like something that anyone can access from any world. That they're connected to all of the worlds. Wait, does that mean that you could use the Emerald Dream as some type of portal between worlds? Like to go from Azeroth to Draenor through the Emerald Dream? That would be crazy. Or Shadowlands, for that matter, too. Oh, shit. That's an interesting thought.
Well, all of that information could potentially be written from their perspective. I need to reread them. No. Fuck. No. 1,000 Years of War is dope as fuck. Yeah, the narration is sick.
Our resources.
Her arrow had landed perhaps 200 paces away. They walked to it together. The distance passed in silence. Terralion had his hammer in hand, but he felt quiet jubilance. She had found him.
I actually remember kind of listening to parts of this.
At the Dark Portal, unlike anything he had ever experienced. He had fought the Horde across 2 worlds, but he had never seen them desperate. At the Black Temple, their war...
I have to go back to this.
Terralion was calm.
The reason why this partially doesn't make sense is Gul'dan and the orcs that we currently know in Azeroth ran away from a broken world. right? They ran away from the shattered Draenor, right? When they left, that shit was breaking. Or had it already broken, but maybe when we went back, we went to a different Draenor? I don't know. Damn it.
Orcs aren't real!
Turalian
Yeah,
stood
orcs aren't.
alone, unmoving, silently witnessing the death of a world. It had been only hours since the sealing of
It
the
was
Dark
it was
Portal.
breaking while they were there,
The land
okay.
of Draenor crumbled, continents cracked open, the oceans heaved and boiled. Huge chunks of earth were thrown into the sky.
Right, Tundra.
There they
I agree with
stayed,
that.
aloft, spinning slowly, refusing to fall back to the ground. Reality itself was unraveling. Turalian was calm. He was not afraid. The light was with him, even here in this strange place. This was not Draenor. It looked like Draenor, yes, but he was not truly there.
Oh,
The
shit.
cracked red plains of Hellfire Peninsula stretched out beneath his feet, yes, but he was not truly there. In the distance, he could see the hastily wrought Alliance staging ground, honor hold, stubbornly withstanding the quakes and tremors.
He was not truly there.
He was not truly there.
You
Wow.
don't repeat things like
Yeah,
that
I was about
3
to say-
times with that much emphasis for no reason.
I was about to say the repetition means it's very important. At least the author wants to emphasize that over and over. Guys, what if we do this crazy Sargeras was not a bad guy arc? What if we end up doing that shit? What if right now Illidan and Sargeras are at the throne, right? Now, from what I believe, the other Titans are not just sitting on their chairs constantly. They're, doing things, doing whatever. But what if Illidan and Sargeras have kind of been alone, just chilling in the throne room, talking, chit-chatting, talking about all the things that have been and will be, and Sargeras and Illidan are going back and forth. Maybe just having a chit-chat. Maybe Sargeras is revealing some truths to Illidan that he never knew.
Let us lay waste to this realm.
Michael Nix, thank you for the sub on YouTube. There could be a world where we have a united Illidan and Sargeras against a bigger foe, maybe realizing what the true foe was. Yeah. I mean, look, I think we're starting to, the hint at the cinematic about where the sword was aimed and everything else, and we talked about the whole imprisonment of the World Soul and how the World Soul is, in fact, in a prison right now. That's all but confirmed. We did show the literal cinematic lineup where you can tell that orb that we see in the cinematic from the new War Within cinematic is, in fact, just another prison created by the Titans, right? That orb that we're seeing, we already confirmed that shit. I mean, I know for a fact that is not Azeroth. That is not Azeroth. This right here, this thing that's calling out, and they're freaking out about, well, this shit's calling out, it's getting stronger. Hold on, I got it right here. Yeah, that's not Azeroth. We know that. We talked about this before. That is not Azeroth. That is just the freaking same thing that we saw when we were looking at Razageth's cinematic, the Razageth cinematic where she eventually dies, right? We already know that. We confirmed this a long time ago when we were first looking at the shit right here. Yep, same thing. This is the prison of this was the prison that broke free when Iridikron, and they were being held in these, side by side images, exactly the same. These are the same thing. They even move the same. Now, again, one was a fully cinematic revealed, and one was, we talked about this, was an in-game cutscene, so maybe that's not why one is as detailed as the other, but that's what they are. And if you remember when we looked at these, in that, there's these rotating rings, right? Look at how they rotate around.
The damage is too great.
It seems like that's part of what, keeps this prison going.
Damage is too great.
Now, we talked about what if Sargeras was putting his sword between these rings, kind of jamming it to stop it. Maybe he was trying to free the World Soul that the other Titans are afraid of for some reason. They've imprisoned it for a reason. Now, some people say it's to grow it, to help it, come through, to eventually reach its full potential. But I think they imprisoned it because they're afraid of it, because it's the strongest. It is the last Titan, as they say. The final expansion, Last Titan. Yeah, the title. Maybe it all fits. And I do think we're going to have some kind of endgame Avengers Assemble moment. And I think Illidan and Sargeras could be part of that on our side, fighting against whatever foe we're fighting against in that final expansion. Yeah, time to use archaeology at last. I said, Blizzard said they're going to delve more and they're going to further iterate on professions. And I did say it's time for Blizzard to bring archaeology back. This would be the perfect time for archaeology to come back because all this stuff would be great to reveal with some cool archaeology profession stuff. I definitely think archaeology is coming back. This is all interesting. A Sargeras is good arc. Damn.
He is not. They're not
Imagine.
on Draenor. This place is not Draenor. It's not at all. I get what they're saying, but when you look at the sky and you see a planet that appears as though it could be Draenor,
You're
that is
looking into
fucking
reality.
alarming.
Yeah.
It makes you think, what the fuck is Outland? What the fuck is it?
Yeah,
Is
what
Outland some fucking shard of Draenor that bridges, like, to Azeroth? Like, what the fuck is it? What is it? I don't know.
Turalyon had been there, of course. Only a few hours ago, he had been fighting for his life there. Hellfire Peninsula had been filled with orcs, Alliance soldiers, broken war machines, the corpses of the fallen,
Right.
discarded weapons, and all the other detritus of battle. He saw none of that
And remember,
now.
Hellfire Peninsula is where, I believe... No, no. It's, yeah, it is Tenan Jungle is Hellfire. So I think it's super fucking
Right.
interesting that an alternate Draenor is what we call it. It makes you wonder, just makes you wonder, which Velen is the real Velen? What if the Draenei and the Velen that
Oh,
exist
shit.
from... I'm gonna fuck you up here. What if those ones that exist that came in from Outland,
Yeah.
what if those are not the originals?
Shit. Oh, shit. But that would mean the originals died. Because we saw Prophet Velen sacrifice himself. The one on the other Draenor. He sacrificed himself in a wonderful cinematic to free that Naru from corruption. Oh, my God. So that would mean the current... Oh, my gosh. That would mean the current... The Velen that we see now is some kind of fucked up Velen or some kind of weird Velen. What does that mean? What does that mean? Then who's the villain in the freaking the Legion comic? Who's the villain in the Legion comic that's telling Anduin it's time to fight for the final battle? This. Who's this villain? Because this is a foreshadow supposedly of the future. You know, everyone... Oh, what the hell? Did I get this in fucking Spanish? How the hell did I do that? That was weird. Okay, yeah. The light will triumph over shadow this day. Let it begin. This is like a foreshadow of, you know, the next expansions. By the way, we already got Grizzled Anduin, so maybe this is the truth here. Although he's got a hunchback here. He's really old in this comic. This comic came out a while back. But that would mean this Velen is a different Velen? I think that... I don't know about that. That's too much, man. That's too much. Alternate Draenor Velen is the real Velen?
How fucked up would that be? What if the Velen that sacrificed himself at the end of alternate Draenor, Warlords of Draenor, is the real Velen? What if the other one is an infiltrator?
Fake
What
Velen.
if he is...
What if he's a
not who we think
Dreadlord?
he is?
What if he's a fucking Dreadlord? Oh my God, there's always the Dreadlords lurking around, fucking pretending to be something they're not. What if he's a Dreadlord? Shit, the imposter Velen. He's actually a Dreadlord. Enter Sire
Draenei
Denethrius.
aren't real. Wake up, sheeple. Sleeper Agent Velen. I'm actually kind of not joking, though. I'm actually kind of not joking about that. Here, let it finish.
We're not done with the
There was no
Dreadlords.
sign a battle
not.
had ever taken place. Only empty, dead ground surrounded him. He was offered a view of Draenor's...
I don't see Velen as being actively malicious either. No, I'm fucking memeing, dude. Come on. You not see this huge, stupid smile across my face? Like, let me
know.
entertain you here. God damn it.
But
We're
no,
going off the deep end.
he was not truly there.
Prophet Velen.
He was not truly there.
Infiltrator.
In another
He said it again. He said it again. He was not truly there.
Infiltrator.
in another realm.
He was in
One
another
he
realm.
did not know. The skies were dark,
he did not know.
twisting, filled with strange, conflicting powers. He could see entire worlds hanging in the distance, seemingly close enough to touch, and yet unimaginably far away. He felt the light intermingling with the shadow. He felt the primal, uncontrolled forces of chaos and order, life and death clashing here.
By the way, this is in the Twisting Nether. So the Twisting Nether is everything he just said. The Twisting Nether is not just a realm of chaos. You hear what he just said? He named all of it right there.
Yeah, it's everything.
Light and shadow, life and death, chaos and order. It's all here in the Twisting Nether. That's
What up,
very
Dave?
interesting. Did you know that Chronicle specifically states that Sargeras was the Titan who went out of his way to study the Twisting Nether? To
Right.
actually learn about its properties and what it is?
Yes.
Chronicle doesn't talk about the other Titans learning about it, like, at all.
Well, the other Titans are very arrogant. Sargeras, that's a cool name. Sargeras was definitely the one who, thought about, and delved into different things, maybe forbidden things he wasn't supposed to know about. Maybe he knew too much. How am I muted? I'm not muted. No. Yeah, it's good. But it's a very interesting thought to think that Sargeras could be a good guy. I don't know.
It's a realm between realities. So Outland might be a sharded fragment, fake reality, a realm between realities that exists in the Twisting Nether. It's real, but it's not in reality because you're in another plane of existence.
That's crazy. Like
So
the whole
what-
Sargeras is a good guy theory. The reason why I've always pushed back against it is I'm like, bro, but we have like literal documentation of Sargeras just chopping planets in half and just going fucking ham with his Legion army. But what if that's all just some made up shit from the other Titans? I mean, who told us those stories about Sargeras? Didn't the Titans tell us those stories about Sargeras? We didn't learn that shit on our own. We don't know that story. Didn't they tell us those stories? Haven't we already discovered that the Titans, in fact, have lied to us about a lot of shit? I don't know, man. And then the whole Legion army and everything, yeah, okay, but what if he was training his Legion army on an alternate not a real Draenor, a broken reality? We thought that he destroyed Draenor. What if he didn't? What if Draenor's been fine this whole time? And when Garrosh took us back to Draenor, we weren't going to an alternate timeline Draenor. We were going to our timeline Draenor. But the Outland Draenor that we thought was ours wasn't really ours. It was a broken reality. Shit. What if he's good? This is wild. This is wild.
What could have even happened to Draenor? after
Sargeras
this
hasn't told us
occurred?
anything. He has not told us anything. That's true. But you know who he's probably telling things to? You know who he's probably telling things to? He's probably talking to Illidan. He's probably talking to Illidan. They are chit-chatting it up. And I wonder, he's in the Titan throne room, so I doubt they can really talk a lot without the Titans overhearing or understanding what's going on. But they're there together. If Illidan comes back and tells us, hey, this dude ain't so bad, we should get to know him. Are we going to listen to him? Oh, it's all crazy.
Knows.
Plot twist, we fucked Draenor
knows?
traveling back to there. Yeah, we did, for sure. For sure. If this turns out to be true, and by the way, the author emphasizing it 3 times that we were not truly there, that's pretty wild. That I was not convinced until I heard that. If we actually went and fucked up the real Draenor, maybe that was the Titans' plan all along. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Always fun to dive into this lore like that.